Salut tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Dans cette vidéo Genshin Impact, nous allons continuer la quête d'Archon que j'ai commencé ce matin, mais malheureusement j'ai perdu les données. Enfin bref, c'est un tout autre sujet. Mis à part que j'ai fait des invocations, mais vous le verrez en grand écran juste ici. En tout cas, si la vidéo vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à la liker, à vous abonner et à partager, ça me ferait vraiment plaisir, ça pourrait me soutenir énormément. Et sur ce, je pense qu'on peut commencer la vidéo. Du coup, comme je l'ai dit dans l'intro, j'ai commencé déjà la quête d'Archon, mais pas énormément non plus, j'ai vraiment fait genre quoi 10 minutes, 30 minutes max, et vraiment là j'en suis où on est dans l'hôtel, on sort de l'hôtel où Paimon elle a été diagnostiquée par un médecin, et après j'ai plus rien fait, on doit retrouver Tartaglia. Pour l'instant le mode FPS j'ai bien aimé, franchement c'était vraiment cool. Alors on doit aller à Glupov, est-ce qu'on peut y aller en train? Non, d'accord. Aussi je préfère le dire comme ça, mais j'ai une chaîne Twitch et je live tous les jours. Donc si jamais vous voulez venir me voir au passage etc, et ben vous êtes la bienvenue. En tout cas, voilà, j'ai une team avec Mizuki en Stellar Swirl et je suis assez content. Je suis content de pouvoir enfin être méta. Et là, on est où? On n'est pas dans l'endroit où le tribunal, là, où ils font des procès, un peu comme à Fontaine. Oh là là, il est chiant, lui. Ouais, un peu comme avec Arlecchino et Fiorina.
Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's...
Ok, bah c'est gratuit. Pas de raison particulière. Je vais chercher le point de TP juste ici. Oh, encore plus grande la porte la prochaine fois, franchement. Bien sûr.
Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia per se. You just want information, right?
Ouais, mais comment il va en fait?
Wanna take a guess?
Ouais, il provoque des bagarres, quoi.
Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know.
Conseiller?
That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vetcha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting.
Forcément.
And though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's.
Est-ce que vous êtes sûr que vous pouvez leur révéler toutes ces informations confidentielles?
What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea?
Ouais, c'est sûr.
None of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnograd Vetcha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in a Vetcha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group.
Ouais.
Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers.
Ok.
Personally, I have no interest in political jousting, but since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vetcha. He represents politics itself.
S'il est jouable, c'est tellement un comble. Il n'y a aucune chance qu'il soit jouable. Aucune chance.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Sarisa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity.
Solution parfaite semble pratiquement impossible à trouver.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person
Pourquoi vous me
to
demandez ça
ask
tout
me
d'un
and
coup?
not me? I just don't understand, that's all. Anyway, do I really need a reason? Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Notcry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on.
Voilà, j'ai monté le son.
You...
J'espère que ça vous dérangera pas.
It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Ok.
Isn't it always? I've told you before. Fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaitovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit.
Okay.
The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation. But we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue.
C'est vrai qu'Odette, c'est une ancienne fatui. C'est vrai.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of... And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Then let's go. If anything happens...
Je pense que Sandrone, c'est l'une de mes fatui préférées avec du recul. Je trouve qu'elle est tellement bien écrite. Pourquoi je... Oh non, oh non, vous êtes sérieux les gars? Je vais vraiment jouer... Ah d'accord. Je vais vraiment jouer la voyageuse en électro là. Eh, j'ai envie de pleurer.
Careful. Something's moving.
C'est très bizarre. Pourquoi il y a un projecteur à ce moment-là?
This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent.
Et si je passe par là? C'est rien du tout. Voilà. Je vais voir ses stats. Oh, putain, j'ai vu l'attaque. Waouh. Oh, pas mal en vrai. Sachant qu'elle a un passif qui augmente l'autocritique, je crois. Ah non, c'est pas celui-là. Je confonds avec celui de Mizuki. En tout cas, son arme est trop belle. Bon, ça va. Et c'est la réaction. Oh! Oui, cinématique. Ok les gars, absolute cinéma. La caméra est trop petite. Absolute cinéma. No way!
What is that? I don't know. It's back? Guess it has family. This way. Run!
Non, Odette! Ok, bien joué. Oh, trop stylé.
Thanks. Let's get out of here.
Trop stylé, Lumine. Absolute cinéma. Absolute cinéma. Oh. Oh, putain. Autocritique. Donc ça c'est pour le voyageur. Enfin une arme adaptée pour elle. Par contre, à quand un nouveau skin pour elle? Enfin, je veux dire... Voilà quoi.
Huh. Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia,
Tartaglia.
Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real big shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How did...
It went fine.
Push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuja. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse her? What does she mean? Refuse to stand up for ordinary people.
Oh my gosh. How does she dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where she's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuja seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone.
Ouais.
But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know, but I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuja outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
Forcément.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa.
Merde.
Their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Sviatlo-Laidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks. If you don't know, maybe you've heard already. But she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster striking that monster down. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point.
La musique en fond qui s'emballe alors qu'on est juste en train de parler.
Very clear. But there are many others in the Vecha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned her name so far, and no details of her experiences. Is something wrong? Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right. I guess there's no getting around it. This
Merde.
traveler, who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
Ma pauvre. Défect.
How strange. The sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of cryo?
Peut-être, hein. What the...
It worked! There really is something special about this sword.
Wesh, elle l'a en double. Ok. Ah!
I don't really understand what just happened, but I'll have to try the same thing again when I...
Ok, j'ai compris comment on élève l'arme. Ouais, c'est bon. J'ai compris. J'ai compris comment on élève l'arme. Merde.
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city. When the weather's as bad as...
Yes, and...
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? So, what brings you here, Miss...
No. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. That's why you're here? I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Ordinary, without knowing the full picture.
So many people...
Yes. Well, that's what...
Right, because things...
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter... I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some crystal.
Funny. The real issue here is that...
True. It's a huge expense after all.
me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport that should do.
This is my first time seeing.
You flatter me.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea how Paimon's doing?
What's wrong?
Her travel buddy hasn't been
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Sviet-Olaydovka.
All right then. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished.
Je pense que les amis, on va peut-être s'arrêter là parce que je commence à fatiguer. Si la vidéo vous a plu, n'hésitez pas à la liker, à vous abonner et à partager, ça me ferait extrêmement plaisir. Et sur ce, et bah moi je vous dis salut hein.